Thank you, Mr. Chair. There's great irony in the title of this bill, Keep Violent Offenders Off Our Streets. And that is, in fact, what we are talking about. I've listened to a number of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle reference Ms. Renee Good, saying they don't know if she posed a threat. We don't know what she was thinking. And the fact is, we'll never know, because she's dead, because she was killed, because she was murdered. And an ICE agent did not use de-escalation tactics. The ICE agent killed a prospective defendant, if you want to talk about bail, and she won't even get that because she is dead. I think it is wrong to have colleagues say, let's not talk about this until you decide it's time for us to talk about it. No, you are correct. This body is not a jury, but we make determinations all the time in this committee, and we are a jurisdiction of oversight. So at the very least, we should be demanding that the committee do the job of oversight and talk about this case. Use this as an opportunity to debate how our taxpayer dollars are being used, how our government agents are being used, how they are treating our constituents. You know, Kash Patel didn't know who Dylann Roof was, but I do. He killed 9 parishioners in cold blood. You know what? Law enforcement agents didn't roll up in that church and kill him. They used de-escalation tactics. So let's talk about that. You know, I have sat on these kinds of committees before when I was in the state legislature, and I was watching that video of what happened to Miss Good, and I was triggered all over again. As a black woman with a black husband, with black children, I have different kinds of conversations than many on this dais about how we have to take extra precautions, and I am a member of Congress. It is a fact that I have to take extra precautions in my family to make sure that my husband and my sons are not killed by law enforcement because of the color of their skin. And you know what that video showed us? Is that all Americans now have to take separate and extra precautions. I thought the mandate for ICE was that they were going to go after criminals that are here illegally creating crimes. That mandate from that video. Miss Good was here legally, and maybe her crime was she was afraid of being shot, and that's exactly what happened. She was not here illegally, and she was not being involved in criminal behavior. And if you all want to say or continue to say that if you obey, then you will not be shot, don't disagree with law enforcement, do what law enforcement says. January 6th happened, and there were a whole bunch of people who rolled up at the Capitol and were disobeying the Capitol Police, who are law enforcement. And they were arrested. And you know what? The President of the United States said, I'm going to pardon you. It is okay for you to disobey law enforcement. It is okay for you to attack law enforcement. And 6 of the pardoned January 6th insurrectionists are charged with committing child sex crimes ranging from sexual assault to possession of child pornography. At least 33 January 6th insurrectionists pardoned by President Trump have been rearrested, charged, or sentenced for other crimes since January 6, 2021. So don't obey law enforcement, do what you want, and hope that you get pardoned. And this bill, Keep Violent Offenders Off Our Streets. You know, cash bail is not about guilt or innocence. It's not even about the crime. It is about your ability to pay for your freedom while you await trial. This bill goes against the sovereign rights of states. This bill says that we are going to tell your state, my state, how we govern our state criminal justice system. And ultimately it says if you can afford to pay the bail, you can have your freedom. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for granting me these extra 20 seconds, but I did want to make sure that I talk about this bill and why I don't support it, in addition to what has happened yesterday.
Gentlelady yields back. Gentlelady from North Carolina is recognized.